Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I have been waiting for it for the longest time and I'm so excited that I can finally look at these images and show them to you. I can't wait. This video is inspired by Drew over at Lone Fox. I'm sure you have heard of him. I saw him do a video like this a while back where he had people on Fiverr do virtual designs for his space, and I thought it was so cool and I wanted to try it for my space after I have already decorated it. So if you guys have been along on the journey, then you've definitely seen my living room. My living room is full of color. It is so fun. I'm obsessed with it. I put paint on like every different surface. I did a lot of zoning with paint and I just really wanted the colorful space of my dreams because I've never had that. So when I moved into my first apartment, I wanted to make sure that it was so fun. But I know that not a lot of designers like to use crazy color like that, and I know that I kind of went overboard in some places just because I wanted to. So I decided that it would be very fun to ask some designers on Fiverr to kind of dream up their ideal space for what I have to work with in my living room, if that makes any sense. So I didn't give them any parameters. I didn't tell them any style. I didn't tell them any colors. I didn't tell them what I needed in the space. I basically just told them it's a living room and I want you to do whatever you think would look best in that space. I did spend a lot of time on the Fiverr website at night trying to find the perfect listings of people who would be able to help me, so I'll insert some clips of that right now. Okay, hi, it is like the middle of the night right now, but I think that this is like the perfect time for me to browse Fiverr to find the perfect listings. My camera is probably like shaking all over the place because you are propped up against a bottle of duck sauce. So I am just going to search interior design render idea. So something that definitely irks me about Fiverr sometimes is that people definitely undercharge. Some of these that I'm seeing are very low rates, and I'm hoping that maybe they have a little more of a streamlined method and aren't spending as much time as these typically take. But if you are someone who sells on Fiverr and you're watching this video, just remember to make sure your prices reflect the time that you are spending and make sure that you're getting paid what you deserve. So I am interested. I will get one like this. Not that colorful, but I love the design style in general. Almost kind of Scandinavian, but like with some like flair to it, some mid-century in there. I'll add this to my list. This one is only $10 and 3-day delivery. So my assumption is she probably has a library of like the same furniture items that she puts into every room. So it's like a really quick thing, because otherwise I don't know why you're charging $10 for that. And this one right here starts at $50. Okay, so I want them to design for me, not just do a rendering. So that would be the standard option. This video is definitely gonna make my pockets hurt, so definitely smash that like button. I think I have to do this one because it has such good reviews and obviously everything looks great. So they say that they're an architect. I'm interested to see what they would do in my carpeted small apartment because all of these photos are looking very luxurious and large. So maybe I'm giving them a challenge. I definitely want to find someone who kind of specializes in like colorful design because these do all look very similar to me. Should have came here while I was in school, save myself time. I'm just kidding. Now obviously these styles are going to be different from my own, and also probably no budget will be considered, but I just think this is like a really fun experiment that you guys might enjoy. So many of these listings are like, give me your idea and I'll bring it to life, and I'm like, surprise, my space is done. This is an experiment. I love like continuity of form and stuff like that. I don't know how to pronounce this username, but I love the form here, the cabinetry and everything. I feel like he would come up with a really cool like built-in design, which is definitely a must. I'm just gonna search really quick to see if there's any like really crazy out there ones that I'm missing. I'm really intrigued by this one. I love the shape, the lighting detail, like this is really cool. So I think I'm adding this one. So I think that those are the 4 that I'm going to go with. Obviously I have to message them first and everything, so there's potential that they could like reject me. But I think my first one is going to be Zoe. My next one is this username. And then the last one is this one with the really cool lighting and form. This one does say price per square meter, so I don't really know how this one's gonna go down. I'll have to wait and see what his estimate is. Hopefully it won't break the bank, but if it does, I might switch it. I'm not gonna spend more money than I get views on this video, so. I'm really excited. I think this will be interesting to see how other people view my space. All right. So here I am. I actually ended up with 3 different designs going back and forth with the different people. So we have 3 of them today. I actually stepped out after I found the initial people. I had Dylan correspond with them, and Dylan downloaded the images and everything, so I have not seen these at all. I just have the folders in front of me that say their name and how much it costs. And I'm just so intrigued, so let's get into it. I'm going to go from most inexpensive to most expensive. So the first design that I got is from Zoe_Arch, which could also be ARC, short for architecture. I'm not entirely sure, but hers was only $12.55, and I'm really hoping that she just had like some pre-made stuff, furniture and everything ready to throw into a space, because otherwise this is not worth $12.55. I haven't seen the renderings yet, but this type of work should definitely cost more. So I'm intrigued. Okay, I'm about to click on the folder. I'm so excited. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to open them one at a time. So this is the first one. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's so pretty. I want to look through all of them before I like discuss my thoughts. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, here's photo 2. So this is just a slightly different angle. So pretty, of course. Okay, so here's number 3. Again, just rotated. Love that. She really gave all the angles. And there's another pretty view. And the last image, this is looking in from the kitchen. This is so cute. Okay, let's discuss. I didn't give them any parameters, obviously, so I don't think they know that it's an apartment or anything like that. So obviously, like, she switched out the flooring, which I would love to do. That would be so amazing to not have a carpeted apartment, but you know, things are how they are. I love the lighting that she put in the ceiling. I'm obsessed with any type of orb light fixture. As you can probably tell from all around my apartment, I'm just obsessed with them. Obviously, I couldn't actually mount a light fixture like that in my living room because there's no electrical up there, but I would love if there was. I would totally do that. I'm really impressed with how she was able to match the space for only that small price. Like, it looks like she really matched the architecture of the kitchen. She even put a ladder there. It all looks pretty accurate. Obviously, it's not an exposed ceiling, but that could just be a style choice. White windows too. I would love to not have green windows. I agree with her there. But yeah, I think it's so pretty. Obviously, it's not my personal style, but even just looking at this space, like, it is good design. Everything flows so nicely. It has kind of like a beachy feel to it. It feels just so feminine and airy. And I love how she put the wood on the TV wall with the floating TV stand. It's just so high-end, I feel like, which I just love it. And she did everything right. Like, all of the furniture fits to the rug. There's black accents in different spaces. You can tell just by looking at this rendering that she knows what she's doing. She's very good at this, so I'm very impressed. I think she even said that she's a student too, so she might still be like practicing, but if that's the case, I'm like extremely impressed by this. I love her choice to put curtains on the entire wall, because if I ever was going to add curtains to windows like that, I would do the same exact thing, because it would be so strange to have them really any other way with the arched windows. So that was a really good call too. I think if there was anything from her design that I would like collaborate with her about and actually put into my space, it would definitely be the TV wall, because I love accent TV walls like that, and I love using wood or other surfaces to like build it out and put like faux fireplaces or like floating TV stands like that. I love that so much. I think that is definitely my favorite part. Okay, I'm going to open the second one now. I'm literally like on cloud nine. If that was $12.55, like I can't imagine what these other ones are going to be like. So the next one, I am not even going to try to pronounce that. I think it's just an acronym or something, but this one was $80. So let's see. Okay, just one image, but it looks like a real photo zoomed out, so I'm gonna click on it. Whoa. Okay, interesting. Wow, I'm like taking it in. First of all, whatever program he's using makes it so incredibly hyper realistic in some of the areas. It's probably like some sort of furniture program. All right, let's evaluate this. I'm taking it in, taking it in. They added a fireplace, so interesting choice. Okay, so let's talk about it. Very interesting. You can definitely see the creator's style coming through here. It is kind of like a little bit of like a cozy, there's like a little flair of farmhouse in there, but it also is like a little bit more masculine, very clean, but also like a little bit of grunge happening. I really like it. I think it's definitely not my style, but I think it is beautiful. The choice to add a fireplace is very intriguing to me. I think that we did tell them it was an apartment. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong about this, but obviously I could not add a fireplace, but I do love the type of brick that they added to the fireplace. I think that's probably like my favorite type of brick, is like, it is definitely just the natural brick, but it's like worn over time and kind of like a little bit light on the grout. I just really like that. I would have made the fireplace a little bit wider for the TV. It's very accurate too. I think all of the architecture is there. They put the green windows and they started to do a little bit with the ceiling, but I think they kind of chose a little bit of a creative direction on the ceiling as well. The color of the ladder is spot on. That is the perfect wood tone, and I'm very impressed that they took that same tan color and brought it into the furniture. I think that's really nice. I'm really enjoying the carpet too. I don't typically like that type of pattern, but I think it is really bringing this space together and giving it a lot of life, because imagining it without that carpet is definitely nowhere near as put together. And I really like that they chose to keep the carpet that's already in this space in there, because it makes it a little bit more obtainable. Yeah, I think this is really fun. It's just so interesting to like see what other people would do. Like, it's just so intriguing to me to see your own space, but like in different ways. I actually think that Dylan would really, really like this space. Obviously, he likes a little bit more color now too, just like I do, but I feel like he would really enjoy this. So I'm definitely gonna wanna get his opinion on this after the fact. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's so fun. I mean, obviously you guys have seen my videos, you know what I would choose for my own space, obviously, but I think this is really intriguing. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so the last one I have very high expectations for. This was $167.85, so should be pretty good, I'm assuming. I'm also not going to attempt to pronounce their name because I think it's just a username once again, but I'm gonna go ahead now and click on the folder and see what's in there. Okay, so we have two renderings. I'm excited, I can't see them, they're far away, but I'm gonna click on the first one. Wow, okay. I'm just absorbing this one. There's a lot to take in. Okay, I'm going to look at the other rendering before I share my thoughts. This is the other side of the space. Okay, I'm going to talk about the first rendering first. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So obviously you can probably tell this one is the most close to my style out of everything we've seen. I definitely love the style that's happening here. I love the couch. I love the color choices. I'm personally trying to understand how this structure is held up right now. I'm a little bit confused about the brick leading right into whatever this green surface kind of looks like it's felt. Kind of understanding how that goes together. It might be a faux brick that they're recommending, so it's like flat, because otherwise I don't know how it would abruptly end in that shape unless there's like some sort of partition in front of it, but it doesn't look like that's the case because it has the same molding on it, which is painted on one side green and the other ones are white. I think it looks cool, obviously, but I'm just trying to understand logistics. I think as far as matching my space goes, this is probably the one that matches it the least, just because it's not really showing any of the ceiling, stuff like that. But I think the window is definitely spot on. Again, they chose to switch out the flooring, which I didn't give them any parameters, so obviously they can definitely do that, which I would love to do also. I love the tone of the flooring that they chose. Obviously, I love the couch, like that's a given. I love the plants. I'm just a little bit confused about this back wall, but it's beautiful nonetheless. It was a very interesting choice for them to choose a small round area rug like that, kind of off to the side. You don't see that very often. Typically the area rug will like be under all of the furniture, so I think that was a really cool artistic choice. And I love that the throw pillows kind of bring the whole rest of the room into it. I'm almost like speechless, like I just don't know how to interpret this image. I feel like maybe it's just some sort of abstract art that is like a frame that's like deconstructed, and maybe like it is a partition that comes a little bit more forward because otherwise the brick wouldn't be able to happen. I'm also just wondering if they even thought this far into it, or if they just like were like, hey, this looks cool. I don't really know, but I think if I was to change anything, I would definitely make the molding all one color on the green part, because that's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but I mean, it's beautiful, so. The other side of the room, also a little bit intriguing. They put brick again, which is nice, and then they chose to add a rolling ladder, which I think is definitely very interesting. I love how they kind of put the books up there and made it into like a library. I think maybe they didn't understand fully that that is a room up there, so they didn't know that they were like blocking that off. But I think functionally that could still work if there was an opening on the right somewhere, if the ladder is able to move like that. The idea of having that, if we just forget that the loft exists, the idea of having that there is really cool, and I like how it looks. I'm a little bit wishy-washy about the green ending so abruptly right there, how it does at the end of the window. I'm definitely intrigued. I love the choice for the warm bar stools. I think that's the perfect pop that is needed there. I think if I'm looking at this rendering right now, the whole right side of it where it turns green is like everything to me. I think it's so pretty, and I think the left side feels very stark for me personally, but I think the juxtaposition between the two is definitely very intriguing. I think there was a lot of very interesting design choices happening here. Like, I'm definitely taking it all in. Now let's answer the nitty-gritty questions. Do I think that they were worth their different prices? So first of all, I will say 100% yes. I do think that they were worth the prices. I don't think that people fully understand how much time and effort and energy and expertise it takes to make these renderings. I would pay this in tenfold for these renderings for all of them, so I don't think asking if it's worth the price is a fair question. Do I think that some of them could have charged more because they are the same caliber as the other ones, if not better? Absolutely. And I will always, always, always want creatives to charge what they are worth. But particularly with architecture, these things are not easy to do. So I definitely think they're all worth their prices, if not more. I think style-wise, the last one, the most expensive one, is definitely the closest to my style, but I think it's probably far away from me in terms of functionality and just like how I would organize a space. I think that it definitely could change for me based on that. I think if I was to take anything from this last design and put it into my own space, it would definitely be the color choices. I love the deep greens with the little pops of pink and everything like that. I think it's so much fun, and I love a stark white too in the mix. I think it just really helps to make it all pop together. As far as who I think had the highest quality renderings, it would definitely be the second one. That was $80. They definitely went hyper realistic. It definitely shows that they have a lot of expertise in what they're doing. I think I'm really happy that all three of them are completely different. Like, they're different styles, different layouts, like none of them are the same, which is why I love doing this. I think it's so interesting to see how other people interpret spaces, and it's just so exciting to see the different options. I don't know, there's certain things that I love about some of them and certain things that I don't love, but I think if I was to put like everything aside, like completely forget about my aesthetic and what I personally like and just view them completely objectively and what I think is like the most solid design, it would have to be the second one, the $80 one. I think that one is definitely the most cohesive. I think that it definitely has a lot of little elements in there that kind of show you how much the creator knows what they're doing. You can definitely see the different tones kind of playing off of each other, and I'm definitely very impressed by it, even though it's probably the farthest off from my personal style. I think it's really good. However, I'm also a really big fan of the last one, kind of impartially, because it's closer to what I love to see. However, obviously there's a lot of things that confuse me about it, but I do really appreciate risks. I think that that is very important in being a designer, is just kind of taking those risks. If someone tells you you can do anything you want with this space, that is your opportunity to like create the beautiful space of your dreams, and I think that they definitely explored here. I don't think that this is something that they just plucked in from another design and kind of put together. I think it was very thought through, obviously, with this very interesting wall piece that's happening, and I think just the different ways that they attempted to optimize the space with the books up at the top and changing the ladder to a rolling ladder and just like really thinking about the functionality behind it, that is very impressive to me. And I also would say that it's one of my favorites because of that. So I mean, they're all my favorites for different reasons, but I'm definitely really impressed with that element of the last one. And then for the first one, first of all, I believe she's a student, so that makes it even more impressive. Secondly, impressed just by submitting a bunch of different angles. That was very sweet. And of course, I really love just like the architectural changes that happened here with the TV wall, and the choice to do the curtains like that was a very smart one, obviously. And I think just the variety of different furniture while still keeping the same type of sofa in there over and over repeated, but like making it feel like it still has variation with the other elements was really smart. I can see she's using triangles. I can see she knows what she's doing. So I think, oh, also I just now I'm seeing there's some lighting for the wood paneling up at the ceiling. That's really nice. So yeah, they are all, in conclusion, very good. I'm very impressed with them. So you guys have heard all of my thoughts, what I would change and whatnot. So I think it might be really fun to see what Dylan thinks. Obviously, Dylan's not a designer, so he won't be looking at it from that standpoint, but just kind of like to hear which one is his favorite. So I'm gonna call him in. Okay, which one, first of all, do you think is my favorite?
Your favorite? Mm-hmm. These two are the same, right?
Yep.
Well, overall, I think that this is your favorite.
The last one. So he thinks the last one is my favorite. But which one is your favorite?
I think...
I was gonna guess this one, the second one.
Yeah, I can see that. I like the layout of the second one. I mean, there are some things in it that I don't like, but I do like the the colors in this one, the third one.
And the last one.
But I like the seating arrangement in the second one. I just don't really like the fireplace.
You don't like the fireplace?
So I like this, I like that area here, and I like the rest of this one.
Okay, interesting. What do you think about this one, the first one?
I like, in the first one, I like the curtains, and I like the hanging light fixture better than the one in the second one. I do like that area with the wood slats.
Interesting, okay. If we had to do one of them right now to our living room, which one would you prefer? No changes, just if we had to do one of them.
If we had to do one of them, I think I would do the third one.
Yep, okay, me too. Awesome, we agree. Alright, so that is today's video. I hope you guys found it entertaining. I was very entertained. I have been waiting to make this video because you have to wait for them to make their renderings and everything, but I think it all came out so good. I obviously recommend to check out these designers and have them make designs for your spaces because they really pulled through for me and I gave them basically nothing to work with and they are all very talented. But yes, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys on next week for some more design stuff. Bye guys!